Hey class, this is Sir James and you're listening to the Sunnyside Podcast, ang podcast para sa mga estudyanteng Pilipino. For today's episode, ang pag-uusapan natin is about kursong pagiging abogado. So bigyan natin ng liwanag yung mga estudyante natin, ano nga ba yung mga expectations, mga pwedeng aralin, ano yung pwedeng maging career path kapag tinahak mo yung landas ng pagiging isang lawyer. So yan yung scrambled thought na bibigyan natin ng liwanag for today's episode. And syempre, meron tayong isang makakasamang attorney para tulungan tayo na mabigyang liwanag ang ating mga estudyante. Huwag na nating patagalin pa, she's a private litigation lawyer and also a law school faculty and radio show host din and educational content creator, almost 640,000 followers on TikTok. Dami niyo po palang ginagawa, attorney. She's also a bar reviewer in commercial law from Anselmo Rodiel Review Center. So, Attorney Anselmo, papanood ko din siya paminsan. Shout out, Attorney. Alright, none other than Attorney Maymay. Hello po, Attorney. Magandang
Hi,
umaga po.
good day.
Ayan. So,
Thank you
yung
for
mga
inviting me to your podcast.
salamat din po sa sa oras na mailan for this. Okay. So, diretso tayo sa ating usapan, attorney. Siguro baka pwede mo po kaming bigyan ng konting kwento nung estudyante ka, kumbaga balik tanaw. Ano yung naging thought process mo as a student?
So, sige, magsisimula tayo nung kabataan ko, no? Okay, way back when, noong bata ako, hindi ko naman alam yung trabahong lawyer na yan. So, alam mo, no, JP, noong mga grade school tayo, nursery, kinder, mga ganitong kabata, no, na mga estudyante, wala pa ako noong concept kung ano ang lawyer. So, dati, kapag sa school, may mga days na sasabihin ni teacher, okay, class, next day, come to school in your favorite profession or come to school dressed in what you want to become when you get older. So, noong bata ako, noong bata ako, kasi my dad's a lawyer. So, sabi niya, oh, you should dress like a lawyer. Dad, ano yung lawyer na yan? Kasi nung bata tayo, ang alam ko lang na trabaho noon yung farmer, fisherman, nurse, doctor, teacher, yan yung mga oo. So, Dad, anong ginagawa ng lawyer? Basta, sabi niya ganun, basta.
So kahit na dad mo na siya, I mean, kasama mo siya sa bahay, hindi pa din ganun clear kung ano ba talaga yung ginagawa ni isang lawyer.
Oo. So, during that time, basta, punta ka sa school dressed like a lawyer. So, ang ginawa niya, pinagbihis niya ako ng blouse and skirt, then mayroong mini briefcase.
Okay.
During that time, ano ginagawa ng lawyer? Taga-buhat lang ng briefcase. Parang gano'n. So, I think it was mind conditioning for my dad. So, with me as a kid, up to my grade school, high school years, that's when I finally started to realize the job of a lawyer. So, dito, na practically na brainwash niya ako na, hey, become a lawyer. Kasi presumably, he wanted me to follow in his footsteps. So gusto niya na may abogado sa pamilya. My mom's a nurse, by the way, and my mom is having a better time convincing my other siblings to become a nurse.
Ayan nga din po yung na-observe natin, 'di ba, sa in terms of Filipino na family culture siguro din. Unang mangyayari is pwedeng ma-influence ka ng parents mo kung ano yung profession nila o kaya naman for others, 'di ba, kung hindi ito yung na-meet nung parents, na-achieve, then posible, anak, ikaw yung gagawa nito para sa akin eventually.
Alam mo, sa totoo lang, dreams start at home. Your parents actually start conditioning you to take a particular career path kasi during your younger years, you actually really do not have any concept on what to take up yet. Oo.
Wala talaga tayong alam, ano ba talaga 'tong mga 'to? Parang sobrang babaw lang, magandang pakinggan, mukhang astig itong course na 'to.
So, from then on, ako naman parang I'm just taking what my dad told me before with a grain of salt. Kasi ako before, originally, I wanted to be either a certified public accountant,
Ah,
a teacher,
okay.
or a journalist, no? Broadcast journalist. So, nung mga kapanahunan ko, high school, mga 1990s, sikat sina Mel Tiangco, sina Loren Legarda. So, ako dati, I looked up to them and wanted to be like them someday.
Ah,
And that was why I took up journalism
as your pre-law.
as my prilo. Oo.
Okay.
It was a choice between accountancy and journalism, but I chose journalism.
Siyempre nung nasa high school na po kayo, kumbaga mas nagbe-build yung, okay, ito na yung siguro kukunin ko kasi eventually kailangan mo na ding mag-ready ano yung mga pipiliin mong programs pag nag-apply ka. So, nung nag-end up na po kayo okay, pinili ko na, journalism po yung kinuha nyo na kurso nung college. Naka-mindset na din kayo na eventually after that, itutuloy nyo siya sa pagiging lawyer. Dire-diretso na po yun? Or hindi pa? Dahil ang gusto niyo talaga is, okay, eto, yung mga reporter, mga journalist ang gusto ko.
Originally, gusto kong maging reporter. So, noong nag-take up na ako ng journalism, when I took up journalism at the University of the Philippines in Diliman, I I thought that I already had a clear career path by entering a national broadsheet as a reporter. So during that time, naisip ko, okay, I will start work with this newspaper as a reporter, then take it from there. Pero yung dad ko, he would hear none of it.
Okay.
Ayaw niyang sumuko noon na hindi ako mag-law school. So what he did before was like, hey, how about you try law school kahit isang sem or isang year lang. I'll finance you all throughout. Yang tinatanggap mong sahod dyan sa trabaho mo.
Tatapatan ko yan. Dodoblehin ko pa yan.
Hindi niya dinoble. Tatapatan daw
Tapat,
eh.
tapat.
And fully financed ka all throughout.
Hmm.
So, pumayag naman ako. Under the condition na, okay, 1 sem or 1 year lang. Kung hindi ko nagustuhan, I will quit anytime. So,
At least ang ganda nung naging premise, attorney, na ito yung gusto nung dad mo, and then at the same time, hindi naman siya nag-end up na parang na-pressure ka lang din kasi kumbaga nagkaroon ng negotiation na i-try mo muna kung magustuhan mo, then tuloy, if hindi, then okay, let's take it from there.
yes, kasi initially, I didn't want to study any further.
Oo.
Graduate, gusto ko magtrabaho na. Kasi 'di ba after graduation, you have that expectation na gusto mo nang magtrabaho, gusto mo nang sumahod, gusto mo na kumita ng sarili mong pera,
Correct,
na
correct.
puwede mong
Excited.
pambuhay sa sarili. Yes.
Okay.
So, ang nangyari, sige, pagbigyan natin si dad.
Mm.
So, pinagbigyan ko siya. I took up law at San Beda,
Okay.
and unexpectedly, I ended up loving it. I ended up loving the classes.
May nakikita ka bang big difference doon sa mismong law na proper na versus your pre-law na course? Iniisip about mga law students, dapat mahilig magbasa daw, ganyan, di ba? Kasi may mga cases kayong binabasa. So, yung halimbawa, yung ganun bang characteristic ng isang estudyante, is it a must even prior going to the law school? So, dapat sa pre-law mo pa lang, ano na yan, parang nabibuild na mahilig ka magbasa, talagang masipag ka mag-aral, ganyan. Ano yung experience nyo doon?
When I took up law, to be honest, I never had any expectations on what what I was then about to experience in law school. Ibang-iba yung college sa law school kasi unang-una sa lahat, when I was in college, basically, hindi gano'n kabigat yung schedule. So, sa UP before, we only had 18 to 21 units overall per sem. Actually, mabigat na yung 21 units. And for the most part, 18 units ang subject load per semester. So, that leaves me a lot of free time
Daming.
to go out, to
Correct.
travel, and to explore hobbies.
Correct.
Pero when I got to law school, medyo culture shocked ako because not only was the schedule really, really hectic,
Mm.
inulan ako ng sobrang daming mga readings. I wasn't actually really prepared for all those readings na itinambak sa amin during our first week in law school pa lang.
First week?
Culture shock. Yes. Kasi during the first week in law school, papasok kami, yung mga prof, for the most part, hindi pa sila papasok during the first day or first week of class,
Mm.
pero magbibigay na sila ng sandamakmak na mga assignments. So,
Ah.
hindi lang readings in a prescribed textbook, marami silang binigay na mga cases na kailangan mong basahin in the original. With the with the expectation na the next meeting dapat ma-recite mo yung mga yon, nabasa mo yung mga yon, naintindihan mo yung mga yon para kapag ikaw yung pinag-recite, hindi mong sagutin lahat as if you know everything. So I wasn't prepared for that kind of load. So just imagine, in college, hayahay buhay ako practically.
Ethics pa.
Then biglang pagdating sa law school,
Ito na.
parang hindi ka na halos makatulog sa dami ng kailangan mong tapusin na readings.
Question, attorney, in terms of law school ba, normally pwede ba yang i-take na parang part-time or full-time just like any other masters or
Yes, yes.
pwede naman.
Yes, it's actually your choice on whether to enroll as a full-time student with full units or as a part-time student with partial
Pwede
units.
naman.
Pero you need to actually choose major subjects din para hindi ka masyadong magtagal in law school, because there are some law schools that maintain this policy that you are supposed to stay in law school only for a maximum number of years, like for example 6 or 7 years. So dapat tapusin mo yung buong buong program in 6 or 7 years. After that, pwede kang ma-kick out or matanggal sa institution.
Alright. Naitanong ko dahil nabanggit mo na maraming babasahin, baka yung mga estudyanteng makapakinig o makapanood nito, ay, ang dami palang babasahin. Mag-part-time na lang ako, baka mas umonte. So, nung dumating yung ganung load na, okay, expectation, I mean, kailangan yung mabasa to, and then pag dumating na si prof, the following week, ready na, anong ginawa ninyo as a student to prepare for that? Kung sinabi nyo kanina na culture shock kayo.
Nung una I wasn't, siguro the first month in law school, I wasn't taking my studies seriously. I have to admit. I wasn't really taking my studies seriously. Yung may mga assignments, then makikita mo na ang dami ng babasahin mo, ganito kakapal, ganito karaming cases. Parang sisimulan ko siya, then later on I would get too lazy to finish. Parang ganun. So it wasn't until my first time to get called for recitation na nabokya ako, na napagalitan ako, na nasigawan ako, na I had a wake-up call.
Okay.
So parang, oh my God, I mean, is this going to be my life for the next months to come or the next years to come? And by then, parang wala pa akong gaanong interes eh. So, uh, as early as first month in law school, nag-iisip na ako noon na mag-quit, gano'n. Pero it was during a meeting in persons and family relations that I finally realized na, hey, I want to study this one. I want to study all about marriages, annulment, nullity of marriages, legal separation. Ako yun ang naging motivation, no? I want to study about the different rights of children, legitimate, illegitimate, adopted children. So that's what actually triggered me to take interest in law.
Sobrang importante talaga na interesado ka. So, kung ano man yung aaralin mo para, kumbaga, mas madali yung flow na lang sa pag-aaral. For sure, merong rough times, challenges pa rin, di ba? Which is normal sa students. Kasi minsan, ang napapansin ko din, attorney, sa mga estudyante kapag nag-iisip sila, especially now, ngayon yung nagsimula na yung mga college entrance test application, nag-iisip sila ng mga kurso nilang kukunin. May mga estudyante na hindi pa rin clear sa kanila anong gusto nila. Kasi nga sabi natin kanina, di ba? Hindi talaga tayo aware ano ba talaga yung gusto natin. minsan ang tanong nila sa akin 'pag may mga nagme-message, "Sir, ano ba yung course na madali?" So, kapag ganyan ang iniisip niyo, ang nasa thinking niyo ba is, "Dun ako sa madali para hindi na ako mahirapan along the way." But I think it's not the case, right? Lahat naman 'yan may iba-ibang uri ng
Yes.
paghihirap.
Walang course na madali. Everything kahit pa sabihin mo na simple yung course na 'yan, I don't think it's
Correct,
really as
correct.
simple as
Yeah.
one would portray it to be, 'no? Walang madaling course for me, 'no?
So, ang nagma-matter talaga kung interest mo 'to, then okey mas matutulungan ka nun na, okey kahit na mahirap 'to, tatapusin ko 'to, gusto ko 'tong aralin, gusto ko 'tong tapusin. Okey.
I'm actually amazed at, young ones nowadays kasi as early as grade school, junior high, senior high, alam na nila kung, ano yung gusto nilang career path,
Si
which during my time, I wasn't even thinking of.
Correct. Siguro nakatulong na rin na attorney na siyempre may technology na tayo ngayon, mas madali na silang mag-research, which is dapat yun din yung ginagawa sana ng mga estudyante natin, 'di ba? Dun nila i-maximize itong technology, hindi yung puro kung ano-ano lang. Ako din dati hindi ko alam kung anong gusto kong gawin before.
Parang ako noon, okay sige tapusin natin yung journalism. So natapos ko naman, then what next? Work na, parang gano'n. So it was only much later na I actually started liking staying in law school. So sabi ko tatapusin ko 'to no matter what,
Okay.
'no?
And then yung law school, attorney, ilang ilang taon ba yan bago matapos?
If you are a full-time student, full load 'no, all throughout, that's 4 years.
Oh.
Plus, you need to review for the bar exams for 3 to 6 months. Then depende doon sa buwan kung kailan matapat ang bar exams, take ka ng bar exams, then again it will take you 3 to 4 months to wait for the results.
So, almost sabihin na nating four
So,
and a half to 5.
yun ng 4.5 or 5 years, 'no, 'pag
Yeah.
full load.
Correct. And then plus your pre-law na normally 4-year course.
4 years, but
So,
some courses are 5 years, so
five
parang
years.
mga 8 to 9 years.
So sobrang haba pala ng pag-aaral na yan. Ngayon attorney, dun sa concept ng pre-law lang, sa'yo ang tinik mo is journalism, right? Ano pa yung common ba or possible na pre-law courses na puwedeng i-consider ng mga students natin kung magte-take sila ng law? Parang the same thing with the medicine, parang minsan kasi ang siyempre inisip din mga estudyante, kung eventually maglo-law school ako, ano kaya yung good pre-law such that hindi din ako mahihirapang mag-adjust? Ano ba yung mga puwede mong mai-share sa students natin about that?
Okay, so this is a popular misconception 'no, na contrary to popular misconception, any bachelor's degree can actually qualify as a pre-law course.
Hmm.
So, kahit anong kurso mo, even those that are medically aligned can actually be considered as pre-law courses. Pero so far kasi from experience 'no, napansin ko sa mga naging estudyante ko sa law school na eto yung mga more popular pre-law courses. So, uunahin natin 'no, uunahin muna natin yung paalala na any bachelor's degree can be a pre-law course. Pero eto yung mga most popular 'no, so far. So, unang-una diyan, accountancy.
Kasi CPA lawyer.
I
Yan
think
pa.
yes, and I think probably because, sa accountancy marami silang subjects in business law.
Ah,
So, yes,
okey.
na magiging advantage
'Pag nasa
later on pagtuntong nila ng law school kasi maraming mga commercial law subjects. Then next up we have political science and public administration. So, etong mga 'to naman, marami silang mga constitutional and political law subjects. Na ti tine-take up and inaaral din in law school. So basically it's a matter of having a previous legal background 'no, through subjects taken up in college. Yun yung mga advantages ng mga courses na 'to. Then apart from that, we have criminology. Criminology naman, as early as college, inaaral na nila yung revised penal code. So that's already criminal law 1 and 2. Then inaaral din nila yung rules of court, specifically the rules on criminal procedure and evidence. So yung mga yan na inaaral nila in college, aaralin ulit nila in law school. So yung mga subjects na to na may mga yung mga courses rather na may mga subjects in college na madadala in law school, yan yung mga perceived na may advantages.
So, itong mga estudyante ba na to na nagte-take ng itong common pre-law na course, more or less sila yung mga nakaplano na talaga na, idediretso ko kasi to sa law. Kaya ako mag-accountancy, kaya ako magki-criminology or magpo-pol-sci. Nakikita nyo ba na possible trend yon?
Possible, yeah, possible.
Clear na.
Meron karamihan sa mga, for example, political science graduates, no, or public administration graduates, talagang tinutuloy nila sa law, no? Pero with respect to yung mga accountancy graduates and criminology graduates, usually may mga ilan diyan hindi na nagtutuloy ng law school kasi magtatrabaho na yan. Although marami pa rin sa kanila tutuloy ng law school. Oh, by the way, legal management is also a popular course, pre-law course nowadays.
Okay.
Although nung panahon ko, wala pang legal management. Matanda.
Okay, so yun yung mga popular na pre-law course. Meron ka bang mangilan-ngilang estudyante na nandun sa sabihin na natin hindi popular na pre-law pero eventually along the way naisip nila gusto kong maging abogado. Kaya kahit ito yung BS ko na program, didiretso ko pa rin sa law. Yung parang hindi mo ini-expect na ito yung BS niya pero dumiretso siya sa law.
Okay, sige. Meron ako mga dating estudyante na lawyers na ngayon na ang pre-law nila ay first and foremost nursing, medical technology, no? And mayroon akong isang student na BS biology na
Ah.
tutuloy sana daw ng medical school pero for financial constraints, just decided on law school, no? So lawyer na siya ngayon. Meron din akong mayroon din akong dating estudyante na pare. So theology then engineering, naging engineer din.
Okay. So I think iyan yung isang para sa mga students natin. And thank you for sharing that, attorney, na kahit anong BS na program ay pwede technically nating makonsider sa pre-law. Pero may advantages, yung mga nabanggit kanina na common kasi nga meron ng mga background sa ibang law subjects. Attorney, to clarify lang, na BA ba? Possible din.
Pwede. Any bachelor's degree can qualify as a pre-law course.
Alright. Okay, now, nung nakatapos na ng law school, klaro na ba kay Attorney Maymay, ano ba yung mga pwedeng fields na puntahan ng isang abogado? So, paano mo ba pwedeng ma-explain ng simple yan sa estudyante natin? At least, may idea sila, pupunta pa ako sa, ano ba yan, yung mga nasa korte, or pumupunta sa mga private companies, or kung ano mang mga opportunities ng isang abogado.
Yes. Again, contrary to another popular misconception, a lot of people are under the impression na oras na maging ganap na abogado ang isang tao, ang punta niya ay sa korte para magtanggol ng mga kliyente hinggil sa kaso. That's not necessarily true. So that's actually litigation practice, which is just one field of law practice.
Right.
Once na maging abogado ka, marami actually fields na maaari mong pasukin. So litigation practice is just one, no? So you can actually choose to handle cases for clients and appear in court, and even then may subclassification ang litigation practice. So you can actually specialize in land disputes or family law cases like nullity or annulment of marriage or custody cases, etc. You can actually venture into commercial law practice, no, litigation practice, or criminal law practice, no. Sa litigation pa lang 'yan. But apart from that, law practice can also include choosing to stay in the academe. So you can actually be a teacher either in law school or in a higher educational institution like colleges, no. teaching law subjects for different courses. Then you also have, you can actually enter government service too, no? So pwede kang pumasok sa court as an employee. May mga plantilla or positions na para sa lawyers sa courts. Then perhaps you can aspire to become a judge later on, no? Pag mag-qualify ka, you gain enough experience. Then you can also enter a government agency or office or a local government unit as a lawyer. So, and of course, let's not forget corporate law practice. So, you can actually work as in-house counsel for a corporation or for whatever capacity, no?
Yung nabanggit mo, attorney, na parang chief justice ba yung nabanggit mo eventually na pwedeng mapuntahan? Or, okay. Yung bang mga yon, aside from the experience itself, nagre-require pa ba yon ng further studies? Kasi di ba normally sa mga other, kumbaga sabihin na nating field, masters, tapos eventually meron pa silang doctors. May aral pa ba ulit after ng law school kapag ganyan?
If you wish to join the academe as a law school professor, yung the Legal Education Board requires, at least for law faculty, to have a Master of Laws. Or ang requirement is at least 10 years experience teaching the subject.
Okay.
Yun, oo.
Requirement.
Pagdating naman sa mga judges, basically age, apart from the age requirement, no? Kapag trial court judge, you need to be 30 to 35. For justices, 40, no? 40 years of age. Kailangan din ng required years of experience sa law, no? Law practice or as a trial court judge.
Okay, so ayan, clear sa ating mga estudyante now na hindi lang basta naging abogado is nandun ka sa korte. So na-explain sa atin ni Attorney Maymay na yun lang yung common na napipicture out natin. Kasi siguro yung iba parang, ako kailangan ko magtanggol ng ganito tapos preoccupied na, matatakot sila. Pero hindi naman pala dahil marami pa rin pwedeng puntahan kapag nakapagtapos ka na ng natapos ka na sa law school. Ano sa tingin mo yung isang pinaka malaking challenge na naharap mo as a law student before?
Okay, I would have to say yung dalawa, no? First and foremost, yung sobrang daming readings. Kasi gaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, I wasn't prepared for the all the readings that I had to finish in every subject in law school before nung first year pa lang ako. Sobrang dami, no? Bukod doon sa mga topics sa assigned textbook ninyo, may mga cases, and yun ang talagang kailangan mong aralin. Kasi part of studying in law school is actually studying jurisprudence or Supreme Court decisions applying or interpreting different laws. So marami talagang kailangang basahin na mga kaso. And dahil dyan, magsasanga-sanga yan dahil sa maraming readings, kailangan mong mag-devote ng oras para dyan. So natural, ang tendency is pupuyat, pupuyat, that can take a toll on your physical health. And because of the pressures in law school, ito yung pangalawang challenge. Maintaining your mental and emotional health. Kasi law school will definitely put you through a lot of stress. Yes. And andyan pa yung mga prof na stricto or namamahiya. That was the culture back then. I'm not sure how law school culture is now, but I think once in a while I will encounter videos in TikTok or in SOCMED talking about professors humiliating their students or all. And to be honest, that can also take a toll on your mental health. And apart from that, yung emotional health mo din kasi with law school being demanding, you may struggle balancing your studies with your personal life or your work life. Mahirap sustain ng law studies kung maraming pressures from family, from your spouse, from your boyfriend or girlfriend, from your kids, or even pressure sa work. Mahirap balansehin 'yon.
Actually, meron akong friends before attorney na ka-work ko sila and then eventually umalis na sila dun sa work tapos full-time na silang nag-aral ng law. Siguro isa din yung sa reason para kumbaga dahil nga if eventually bumibigat din yung load talaga, kailangan ng focus and of course at the same time 'di ba dapat kahit papaano makahinga ka pa rin.
Yes, kailangan makahinga ka pa rin 'no, lalo na 'no sa mga may work, then pinagsasabay ang law school or lalo na dun sa mga pamilyado, then estudyante ng law school or lalo na dun sa pamilyado ka na, may work ka pa, law school ka pa. So that can really take a toll on your emotional and mental well-being na 'no, para sa mga family members o mga jowa.
Bawal makipag-break. Bawal makipag-break habang nagre-review sa bar.
Pero reality JP, when I was a law student, I've seen a lot of my classmates na may mga boyfriend, girlfriend na hinihiwalayan.
Oh.
Because yung mga jowa nila hindi maintindihan kung gaano ka-demanding ang law school.
Malalaman kung sino yung gusto mag-stick. Ay, sige, bahala na si boyfriend, girlfriend.
Meron din naman na ah, may mga jowa pa rin hanggang nung graduate kami outside of law school, ayun.
Okay.
Hindi naman imposible, pero kung minsan that can take a toll on relationships or marriages as well, ayan.
Okay, now attorney, as we close this episode, ano ang iyong one final piece of advice sa mga estudyante ngayon? Siguro specifically yung mga nasa junior high, senior high, na eventually magte-take ng pre-law and then itutuloy sa pagiging abogado. Ano yung message mo sa kanila?
Okay, if you are a junior or a senior high student, mag-aral lang kayong mabuti, 'no? Mag-aral lang kayong mabuti doon sa subjects ninyo, and don't think too much, 'no? Don't think too much of the future na sobrang layo na nung tingin ninyo. I think you just need to take it a day at a time. No, a step at a time. Baby steps, after all are still steps towards your dreams of becoming a lawyer, no? Pasasan at pasasaan kundi makakarating ka din eventually, no? Just study hard. Just study hard and do not stress yourself choosing a course na sa tingin ninyo ay magiging advantage sa law school. Sa totoo lang, no, not, I mean, at the end of the day, kahit sabihin mo na popular pre-law course yung kinuha mo, the law school is still a great equalizer, no? Pagdating doon pantay-pantay, no? Kasi kahit yung mga walang previous law subjects gaya ko, kayang makipagsabayan sa mga may background. In your choice of courses, just choose what you want to take up aligned with your interests and everything, no? Tapusin mo yung kurso mo sa kolehiyo, then after that, you can think of entering law school. But for me, don't stress too much on something as distant as law school kapag nasa high school ka pa, no? You focus on your immediate studies, graduate, study hard, develop a good study habit or pattern or routine, and you can take it from there.
Ayan, sobrang perfect na advice para sa ating mga estudyante. One step at a time and then eventually, tsaka na kayo ma-stress kapag binigyan na kayo ng maraming babasahin sa law school. Darating din kayo dyan, huwag kayong masyado excited. Ayan, thank you so much Attorney Maymay sa lahat ng mga na-share nyo na insights sa ating mga estudyante. Definitely, very helpful siya. And ako personally, meron din ako mga aha moments sa mga na-share mo. And thank you so much for your time. Magawa itong episode na to with our students.
Maybe Sir JP, you can take up law if you want to.
Pwede rin. Pag-iisipan ko yan, Attorney Maymay. Alright, that's it for today's episode. My name is Sir Japes and you are listening to the Sunnyside Podcast. Class dismissed.